Sup, motherfuckers, here comes Mr. Slut! I decided to join the war on drugs, but then my lieutenant got really pissed at me when I showed up just completely off the perk. What the fuck can I get you today? Do you want a glass of green? A few days ago, I asked you idiots to give me some questions, and look at what you did to me. I said I would try and answer every single one of them because I'm stupid, so we're doing that now. I got like 50 comments in this fucking list, and I'm gonna answer every single one of them, or I'll die. The fact that you can't grab this is violently homophobic. I hope you enjoyed. Come back here when you're done. I'll probably still be finishing this, if I'm not spilled the whole thing by then. Jesus Christ. Comment for validation. Yo, thanks. What is your motivation for getting out of bed? Bold of you to assume I have that. When you run for presidency of the world, what will be your platform and what can voters expect of you? If I win the presidency, I'm going to make every single kind of drug legal, and then I'm going to immediately resign. Have you seen Transformers 1? Please watch. Saddest robot yaoi breakup film. Sad face. I have not seen Transformers 1, but from what I've heard, it's good, and considering the fact that you just described it as a yaoi breakup film, I think I legally have to now. I'm very glad the Transformers fans are finally taking a W, because holy shit, what the fuck is Michael Bay been doing? Have you heard of thug aim? I think I lost it. What the fuck is thug aim? A term or trick often used to trick newbies who have just discovered the rules for playing a well-known internet game known as the game. Alright, this video's over. Bye. Why are you so homophobic towards coconuts? Because they taste like shit. When I posted my Halloween candy video last week, I had no idea all of you were coconut-loving cretins. I had a handful of friends talk to me afterwards being like, why don't you like coconut? What's wrong with it? Because it tastes like you're eating sandpaper, that's what. The texture of coconut is just... you know? How do you think your 52 video plan is going so far, and how has it affected your workflow? I'd say it's affected my workflow positively in the sense that I have a workflow at all. Some weeks are harder than others to get shit out. I mean, there's been times, even the freaking candy video, I delayed that by a day, and then even on the day it was supposed to go up, it was still delayed by like an hour and a half. But at least I'm making this stuff, and that's the important part. Try baking an egg blindfolded or do a flip. The flip sounds cool. Whoa! How was that flip? Totally not recycled from the 24-hour video. Cool. What sort of backgrounds do you like for your phone and computer? Here's the shit I'm currently rocking on my phone and computer. Can you tell I'm a degenerate? What were you doing at 23 seconds and why did you give up halfway through? Have you heard of cracking your knuckles? I do that shit impulsively to the point where I forgot that I was wearing these giant fuck-off index controllers, so I just kind of did an awkward this and then stopped because I realized, hey, dumbass, you can't crack your knuckles with this. What is the dumbest / funniest thing you've ever done for the bit? First thing that comes to my mind right now is back in my 12th grade year of high school when I was in musical theater, because of course I was. And I apparently had a decent singing voice then, so I ended up getting a spot on the local radio show along with the star cast members of the thing we were working on. And it was funny to me because it was like the main lead actress, couple supporting characters, and then just me there for some reason. And my favorite memory is me introducing myself first because I was less important, and then all the other characters introducing themselves. Finally, the lead actor who was next to me, who was the kind of hoity-toity popular kid that just like won at everything in life, he introduced himself, and then we were sharing a microphone because the space was kind of small. So as soon as he introduced himself, I leaned over to the microphone and I was like, can I just say that my character is more important than your And then the drama teacher that was in the room also like jokingly, half jokingly, I think, physically pulled me away from the mic. Was it a very stupid thing to do? Yes. But did I get a ride up back to the high school by that same popular kid afterwards? It was very stupid. I probably sound like a jackass in front of hundreds of people on the radio, but whatever. Car or motorbike, and which model in particular? You were asking this to a person who has spent 28 years of his life being as willfully ignorant as possible to anything involving vehicles. I don't know what a suspension is or how many horses you need to power a Mustang. I'm just here. If it has 4 wheels and I fit in it, it's perfect. Go-to McDonald's order. Kind of depends on my vibe, but my normal go-to is the double quarter pounder because I'm a fat ass. Generally just with fries and a Coke because I'm basic, but sometimes I'll get a McFlurry too if I especially hate myself. I always try to like actually go to the restaurant too. I used to get delivery app shit all the time, but then I realized that it's not just the delivery prices that get inflated, but the actual price of the fucking food, which feels like it should be illegal. Motherfuckers out here trying to charge me like $6.50 for a McFlurry, which is like 6 cents in American, which sounds like a little, but it's actually a lot. Listen, we're rocking Monopoly money, but we make it work, okay? How many water can you snort? Where the fuck did my water go? My water broke? No, they're my water. Not much. What's your thoughts on the whole Blue Sky and Twitter situation? It would be really funny if it wasn't so sad. The elongated muskrat is a fucking cuck, and if there's any praise I can sing to him, it's the fact that it's making people leave Twitter. Personally, I think he should like just get rid of community notes at some point, the only good thing he add to Twitter, and then no one will have a reason to be there. And everyone will have no choice but to go to Blue Sky. You should follow me there, campfireharvest.bluesky.social.com/gov.uk. I actually do have a far better, more healthy relationship with Blue Sky than I did with any other big tech social media media company. I sort of gotta talk about this at least once a week, but these big tech social media companies like Facebook and Meta and Instagram's part of Meta, fuck you. Even YouTube, the shit I'm posting this on, it's all just like a terribly constructed feedback loop designed to just keep you on the platform so they can charge more for ad space. And Blue Sky, they don't got any of that shit. They got some algorithms, sure, but they're entirely optional. Your feed is just chronologically of the people that you follow, that you actually give a shit about. It doesn't let just rage baiters float to the top, which is my problem with Instagram and Twitter. I don't know if Blue Sky is gonna be the main social media network in the future. Matter of fact, I kinda hope it's not. But I enjoy it a lot more than I enjoyed Twitter, and I hope Twitter just hurries up and dies. Can you put it in your will that I get your channel when you pass? Yeah, sure, I don't give a shit. What am I gonna do? Get mad that you took my channel? I'll be fucking dead. I don't care. Sing Black Box Warrior by Will Wood. What the fuck is that? No. How did you come out? Okay. So, I actually came out because of someone that I saw at a family reunion. Hear me out. I wasn't blood related to them. It was a family friend. Either way, I laid eyes on this person and I was like, damn, I want to do things to you that would make God cry. So because of that, on the drive home, I told my parents about it, and I basically just came out as gay to them in that moment. And their response was a resounding, "You didn't know?" They were just like, "You're only working this out now, you fucking idiot." Got any production tips for those of us trying to start out in content creation? Oftentimes you hear people talk about having quality over quantity, which is very true in a lot of cases, but in my case, in order to actually start making things that are quality, you kind of have to focus on quality first. Let me explain what I mean by that. The reason that I started uploading videos on here again is because before that, this channel was essentially dormant for a couple years because I had no good ideas, and the ideas that I did have, I either didn't like them or I figured they would take up too much time and I didn't want to warrant having to make them. Basically, I was just talking myself out of doing a lot of the shit. Then in 2023, I reconnected with Gurdon, who started making videos of his own volition that were really fucking good, and that combined with me desperately needing to fill my time up with something that wasn't just sitting around and being mad at myself for not doing things, I said, fuck it. Let's give YouTube a second try. I didn't just want to make a couple videos and then fuck off though, because then I'd just be right back at square one. I needed to get myself into like something habitual, something I could go to every week and fulfill and complete. So that's why you're watching this right now. I made the New Year's resolution for myself to upload a video every single week, and so far I have done that. This is video 45, I think, and that's 45 videos. That's 45 whole ideas that I thought of, fleshed out, put together, and then put online that I never would have done if I hadn't kicked myself in the ass to do this. So in general, quality over quantity should be the motto, but if you're having a hard time even getting the feet off the ground, I think quality is the important thing to start out with. You can't be concerned about the quality of a thing if you never make the thing. After this year is up, I'm not entirely sure what the schedule will still be. It might still be weekly, maybe it'll go down to bi-weekly, maybe I'll take a month off, I don't know. But what's important is that I now know that I have the energy and the drive to make something consistently 52 times in a year. I'm not just realizing you said production tips, so maybe you didn't actually need that little bit of advice, but whatever, I thought it was good to get out there. Since you're Canadian, what's your opinion on Lay's ketchup chips? I like ketchup chips. I fucks with them. They're not normally my first choice. Normally I go for all dressed, which is another, I don't think it's Canadian specific, but they are very good. If you were a dog, then what breed would you be? Probably a Labrador of some kind. I don't know if it's a fluke situation or not, but my parents have a chocolate lab that is the dumbest motherfucker to ever live, and I feel that in my soul. Combining these two, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? As much wood as he felt like. I hope he doesn't push himself too hard. He works hard enough. If a dog chews shoes, whose shoes does he choose? Why are you giving me tongue twisters? Just because you're giving me so many tongue twisters, I'm just gonna say that I hope he chews yours and then move on. What one of your husbandos would you actually marry? My money's on Wolf O'Donnell. I mean, yeah, Wolf O'Donnell will be up there. Or maybe Mr. Wolf, because he actually has like a place that you can live in the city. I'm assuming he stole it, but still, you know, finding an apartment in the middle of the Big Apple. Does it take place in New York City? I don't know, I forget. And then if neither of them are available, I guess I just marry my boyfriend. I don't know. Have you ever been to any conventions? If so, which one was your favorite? If not, what do you want to go to the most? I've been to a couple, technically. One IRL and one in virtual reality. And I made videos on both. The one I went to IRL was for an Equinox. You can watch the video for that. Some card there. That was very fun. Definitely want to go next year. That was also the first one, because someone else asked what my first one was. There. And then the virtual one was Virality Umbra. That was a lot of fun. Met a few virtual reality friends, which was cool. Also got in the showcase, which was also cool. Actually, I'm just gonna slip this in because I want runtime. I've had a couple people ask me if I'm gonna do another showcase like submission for Virality Umbra, and to be honest, I don't know. For those not in the know, there is another showcase happening right now for their winter thing, and I might do something for it just for myself, just as like inspiration, but I don't know if I want to get another slot again, just because, like, you know, I already have my praises sung and everything during the last community showcase, and I would prefer that someone else completely new would be able to take that spot that I would be taking. I'm all about sharing my food, you know? Do you have anyone you look up to for inspiration? I had to think of my brand of delivery kind of similar to CJ the X, except less cool. I used to watch a lot of Joe Santiago. I don't know, I haven't watched him in years, but he's a very funny guy. His kind of style of just getting in front of a camera and talking shit about something, I feel like that's just what I do here, except gayer. When it comes to visuals for more serious stuff, I'm a fan of Eden, his earlier work from like 2016 to 2018. A lot of his videos then were very kind of artsy, kind of photo bashing shit together, and I think that's kind of it, to be honest. At least in terms of like video production. I have other influences when it comes to like music production type stuff, but you don't give a shit about that. Do you have a partner? What do you like most about them? My boyfriend is a bear. He's a homosexual. My favorite thing about him is the fact that he makes me look smarter than I actually am by comparison. Do you have any projects that you give up on because it was too ambitious or too silly? I actually have a couple ideas for music videos that I want to do, but I am legitimately waiting until I have some sort of face tracking to do them. It's just stuff that I want to do, but I don't want to rely on just guessing where my eyes are going to be pointing at any given moment. I want to be able to control where they're looking. So hopefully I can work out a kind of solution to that at some point. As for too silly, I don't think so, because I don't think anything's too silly. What's your favorite internet horror story, ARG, and analog horror? My favorite internet story is probably Marble Hornets, which I guess counts as an ARG, but I have a different answer for that. I feel like it kind of kicked the ass and proved to be a stepping stone for a lot of like horror series that you find on YouTube today. And speaking of ARGs, one of my favorite ARGs in recent memory is Catastrophe Crow, even though it kind of ended unceremoniously. It did feel cool to be like in the vanguard of it when I was in the Discord and trying to help solve puzzles and shit. That was fun. There were like a bunch of different videos across a bunch of different channels, and each of them had like pieces of code that you had to put together to work out one central message at the beginning of the game. And then we even got access to game files that we weren't supposed to because they just uploaded a zip file with a password on it. And then analog horror. I don't know if it necessarily counts as an analog horror anymore, but the Mandela catalog is fucking classic. I honestly think Alex Kisser is one of my favorite film directing type people to come out in recent memory, and I think he does a fantastic job. His directing style is really something else. The amount of unease it kind of generates so effortlessly is really something to marvel at. Like, sure, Volume 1 is the one that everyone points to and goes, ooh, scary, but dude, Volume 3, 4, 5, all those are such fucking cinema. I feel like a lot of those are probably basic bitch answers, but you know, if you haven't heard of him before, you have now, and hopefully you like him. Do you like moths? Serious answers only. I think moths are cool. I don't want them near me though. I'm not a big fan of like any kind of insect or creature that has like control over every axis of movement. I'm not trying to find a motherfucker who got access to the Y coordinates as well as the X and Z. That shit's OP. Motherfuckers be too unpredictable. I don't like it. Are you going to Fernal Equinox next year? Yes, 100%. I mean, finance is willing, but right now, yes. You probably will see me there. Fair warning, I am incredibly awkward, so if I seem rather standoffish, it's okay. I am just like this, unfortunately. Which brand of concrete tastes the best? I'm gonna say gray. Can I appear in one of your videos again at some point? Absolutely not. Never. Not allowed. You know, you can just like ask me this, right? Like, we're friends. Like, I have you on Discord. Kind of in an overarching sense too, I'd love to do more collaborative stuff again. Maybe I'll make him watch another shit movie with me. That'd be fun. My IP address, oh boy, you didn't ask that. Except I did though. What are you gonna do about it, huh? You gonna send me my IP address? Don't actually, please. That'd be terrifying. Sphere or cube, and why? I like cubes. They're simple. 6 sides, 8 corners, 12 edges. They're very easy things to anchor onto in this crazy whirlwind of an existence. How many fingernails could you put into a Rice Krispie bar before you could taste the nails? This is actually a really good philosophical question, to be honest. How big are the nails? If they're like tiny, if they're like particulates of nails, then presumably you can just keep going up and up until you notice like a change in the flavor profile. Are you otherkin or Therian? If so, what are your experiences with it? I talk about this more in depth in my Fernal Equinox video because there was a Therianthropy panel on it. But long story short, I won't dive in too deep because I don't know if anyone's actually interested in hearing about it, but I would say yes, not necessarily because I want to be labeled like that, but because I've had experiences that point directly to me being this thing. Once again, I won't go in depth because it's still something I'm learning about and figuring out for myself, but yeah. Favorite podcast? Probably Creepcast. I mean, it's a pretty cool, how could you forget the podcast by Gord Gimberdern? It's the one that I co-host. You should check out the next episode because I think it's funny. Can you look up Puss Moth and Rosy Maple Moth and tell us what you think of moths? I already talked about moths. I already talked about moths earlier, but let's see what these are. Ah, shit! Look at those little guys. Puss Moth is fine, whatever. Rose Maple Moth can stay because they look very polite. Has your ween been hallowed this year? Oh, my ween got so hallowed. You ain't got no ideas. Anyone else getting weaned this hallow? No. Favorite Pink Panther song? I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really listened to Pink Panthers. Nothing against her, I actually think she makes some really cool stuff. I just haven't really gotten around to doing a full deep dive. If I had to choose, I'd probably say 19, because I've heard that used on a couple DJ sets I listen to, and I think it's really fun and groovy and shit. Genuine question, how do you deal with homophobia? This person also included a backstory that I won't read here, but I did still want to answer the base question, because I feel like it is kind of important, especially with the current everything happening right now. So when it comes to homophobia, I should say that I'm not like a good benefactor kind of source. I was raised in a pretty accepting household. My immediate family was very supportive when I first came out to them, and my extended family, we just kind of never told them, and I didn't really care to. Probably the closest I ever got to any kind of direct exposure from someone in my life that I trusted was when I was talking to one of my friends around the time I was questioning my sexuality, and I very vaguely asked him the question of, like, you know, if you had a cousin perchance that said they were homosexual, what would you do? And then he'd be like, I wouldn't talk to him again. And in that moment, it just kind of affirmed to me, yeah, I should probably keep my mouth shut. Which is easy for me, I feel like. I was already kind of reserved. So when it comes down to it, the only real homophobia I face is people calling me a f***ing online, which, whatever. On one hand, it sucks if someone leaves a comment saying that, but on the other hand, we're both terminally online losers being keyboard warriors at each other. So, we're both losers at the end of the day. Part of this person's backstory is that one of the only people who knows that they're homosexual called them a faggot as a joke and thought it was okay. I don't know your exact situation, but I really hope you were in a place where you could tell them to shut the fuck up. People getting way too comfortable with using that word, man. I don't know what to say. Like, I know I just dropped it twice, but that's because I am faggot. Faggot me. I'm allowed to use it. Fellow faggots are allowed to use it. People who are not faggots can use it if I give them permission. That is where it ends. I don't know how old you are, anything about really the inwards of your life and everything, but the best advice that I can give personally is to just hold on. Just hang in there. Your media community sounds like it fucking sucks, and I'm really sorry. You don't deserve to be treated like that. But there are a lot of people out there who really care about you, even if you haven't met them yet. Hell, it wasn't actually until I moved to a completely different area that was a lot more kind of like accepting of LGBT shit that I actually was more open and more willing to talk to people about it. And I know it feels like you're going to be suffocated forever like this, but there will come a time in the future when you won't be. I don't want to say anything that might send you down the wrong path or come off as backhanded or anything like that, just because I'm very bad at giving advice, especially with something as serious as this. But I will leave some things in the description if you want to check them out. I do know the Trevor Project has like a kind of like immediate chat support thing, and it's really easy to hide as well. Like if you hit a button a couple times, it'll actually just erase your history that you were even on there if you're concerned about your parents checking your browser history or anything like that. If I think of any other resources that I think are viable for anyone who's dealing with a situation such as yours, I'll also leave them in the description. Sorry I can be of more immediate help. I'm not very good at giving advice. The most I'm good for is hopefully making you laugh while I do penis jokes. How would you steal the Krabby Patty formula? I would mail Mr. Krabs anthrax. That's it. Have you ever realized plastic is made out of oil, and oil is made out of extinct plant and animals, even dinosaurs? So plastic dinosaur toys are made out of real dinosaurs. You put a lot of thought into that. I'd say it paid off though. That's a good fact. What's your favorite panel? Why is it Duma? I can't say Duma is my favorite when Incineram is literally right here, but I will say I do like Duma because they're probably the easiest thing to find to get your early high quality pal oil needs met. I never really fought with one though, so I don't know how good they actually are at combat, but when it comes to killing them and harvesting their organs for my own personal gain, fuck yeah. How do you become a furry? To be honest, I don't even remember. The earliest recollection I have is the fucking Raccoons 2 thing I talked about in the last questions video, and before that, I don't really know. A train is heading east with Jay-Z, and a different train is heading northeast with $500,000, and the $500,000 is slowly depleting at a rate of 100 Jay-Z's per second. Could you at this point decide that the dinner might be worth rescheduling, or you just commit to it and take the L? Show your work. I'm pretty sure I just had a stroke. I guess this is a callback to the last video where it was like $500 or dinner with Jay-Z. All right, let me cook. I'd say the dinner would be worth rescheduling. But also, how much is a Jay-Z in the context of $500,000? Because I feel like Jay-Z is worth a lot more than $500,000, you know? This is too much math for me to figure out. I'm just gonna say reschedule a dinner, try again later, who the fuck knows. Sidechain the kick and bass, or just separate them with EQ. Also, do you prefer your sidechains precise or pumping? Little plug, this is GCJ, not to be confused with Juicy J. He does a music and it sounds good. Listen to his stuff, particularly this remix. I don't have a bias. I did not make the original song. Don't at me. I normally sidechain, and I like the pumping side chain just because I feel like it really has a kick to it. I like it when it's like doof, 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 or whatever. I can't emulate shit with my voice. What's your favorite number in the alphabet? There's so many different meme options I can go with, and all of them feel equally predictable. Let's just say 69 and call it a day, huh? Cute laugh track. Yep. True. Also, brush your teeth. Motherfucker, I take care of my pearly yellows every single day because I have to. I come from a long lineage of people who have worse teeth than the Brits on a bad day. You know what I mean? I really gotta keep that shit locked in. Is it time to duel? I mean, I don't have the death sickles on this avatar, but if I did, you'd be fucked. How do you deal with the ever-growing pressure to always make your next project better than your last? That's the neat part. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's like, I'm at a point now where I don't feel like every video or every project that I do has to be better than the last. I'm doing this shit weekly. There's gonna be duds, there's gonna be waves, you know? I especially don't want to get in the mindset of like, damn, I've been on a bit of a downhill trend recently. That means I must have peaked at some point. Because that's just not true. Life is a lot less like this and more like fucking this shit. One of my recent videos was just me in my car for 2 minutes bitching about how I couldn't make a video because of mental health shit. Do you think that that was better than the last one? Of course it wasn't. I still posted it anyways. Honestly, I think perfectionism is just like the death of self-expression. Perfection is definitely something to aim towards, obviously. If you're making something and putting your heart into it, you want it to look good, but you can't just kill yourself over it. Take my Year of the Cup video, for example. There's a few editing errors there that I completely missed out on that would make the video, in my opinion, better if I fixed them. But I didn't. And I still liked it. I've been trying more and more to just see everything I make as its own isolated thing, not having to be compared to everything else that I've ever made. And I think that's a Poggy's way to do it. How does it feel knowing there are genuinely people watching your vids and hoping for nothing but the best for you despite being a complete stranger? Weird? In a good way, I think. It is definitely a strange concept. I sometimes have to give myself a feeling of Sonder so that I can be like, damn, this number of people have seen the stuff that I make and enjoyed it enough and decide that they wanted to see more. Like the population of a fucking large village is just looking at this shit. And I'm glad that they're here. I obviously can't say thank you or meet all of you personally, but I think it's very cool that there are people out there who like the stuff that I make. It is something I try not to take for granted, genuinely. What's the best place for rubs and scritches and why is it tummy? Okay, I mean, tummy deserves its to-do, but motherfucker, you don't underestimate shin scritches. Those things slap. It just feels so good if you just got like right under there, like, yeah, baby. My parents watch this channel. Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Thank you very much for watching. Thank you everyone who asked questions and shit. Really quickly, before you go, sit the fuck back down. I track my retention. Everyone leaves during the outro. Sit the fuck down. I will never ask you guys to subscribe or like or leave a comment or whatever because that's just me blatantly doing a call to action so that you can push me farther into the algorithm and thus I get more exposure and potentially more money. But I have a goal. For once, I have ambition in my life. And that goal? To reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. When I started doing this fucking bullshit, I had like 300 subs and I was like, damn, wouldn't it be crazy if I somehow got to like 4 digits sometime this year? And then we beat that in like June. So I think it's doable. I think it's doable and I think it's fun. I'm not gonna ask you to do anything, but if you do enjoy anything that you've seen on this channel so far, I will not personally kill you if you subscribe. Does that sound fair? According to my analytics, none of you are subscribed and I'm in a simulation. Bro shouting out his Patreon. Gordon, I'm fucking stupid. Gordon, Hakaimono, Foxy Boy, Kylacray95, Jargy Roo, Theo Firefox, Serial Source, Beast King Barbaros, Uber Bounty Joel, Aki, SF Serval, and Squall. And bitches on Ko-Fi too. I think I got y'all memorized. Hold on, let me cook. Apple Juice Dragon, Beast Churger, Bro, Jaribby, Theo Firefox, Gordon, Levy, Caro, Android.tj, and Welcome the Wolf. Thank you guys for allowing me to use you for content again. That was very nice of you. I'm going to see you next time when we will drink more turquoise. Hey, as I record this, it's early morning on November 6th, and the results for the US election are more or less called by the American press. I've said before that I don't want to get political on this channel, and that's going to remain mostly true, but it felt wrong to not acknowledge the elephant that's in the room. This shit's scary. It's scary for every LGBT person, every woman, every immigrant. I have a lot of friends who live in the States that fall under this criteria, and it breaks my heart to know that they're stuck in a country that doesn't think they matter. But they do matter. You matter. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. I don't know what the best course of action is now. I'm Canadian myself, so I can't do much directly, but I want everyone to check in on their communities. Make sure everyone's doing as okay as they can. I don't know what the next steps are to help heal or make things better for people, but I think that we all have a job to do. And as a Canadian myself who can't do much direct action, I like to think that my job is to provide some laughter, maybe provide some comfort in a world that's as aggressive as this. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm still going to be here. And I hope that you'll still be here too. And I hope despite everything, you face the odds headstrong.